maybe.
She's a female instead of whatever she was at. So,
Okay.
but she's not worried about that. She's just worried about Oness now.
Does she know anybody else that might be able to check up on them? No.
If she does, she'll be calling them, but she didn't mention anybody.
Rob, you mind going?
Of course I'm going. Catch us both right into his house.
All right. So, John, I think you're familiar now with everybody here. Right? You're earning this.
Well, I know each person. I'll forget everyone's name when I leave.
Well, just I don't know if we mentioned this earlier, but we do this monthly. Like I said, usually during the fall, there's more students involved. I'm sure maybe it was the rain that kept a lot of people away today. There's also the mangrove gathering that I saw, a few of us go to, so maybe they're all partied out for the weekend. We've been talking about the Peace Fair. I'm sure Tom told you a little bit about the Peace Fair. We were having some issues last couple months about whether having it on campus or off campus. Some people supported it having it on campus, obviously, because we all want more students to be involved. We're the future generations, and we think that creating awareness about these sorts of issues among students is a very good idea. But we had some issues with the administration.
We made some progress.
So,
right.
yeah, we've decided, I think, and I wish there were more people here so that everyone could be, on it.
Last month there were about 20 people, I guess, and everyone had different ideas about where they wanted the location to be. And I guess at last month's meeting, a lot of people were eager to get the ball rolling and decide on the location and start, making concrete plans. But it seemed as though there was we didn't have enough information to make that decision yet. And but EPEC was already talking with Coruscant, and Coruscant was pretty much giving us a great deal on it. They weren't really charging anything to hold it there, just a few extra fees that we have to pay for. Whereas FGCU, a bunch of
charging.
Yeah, it was kind of unclear too. We weren't getting consistent answers from people, but it all came down to basically having it for free at Coruscant. Or it was like $1,000 or $2 here.
The lowest,
Coruscant State Park. It's down the road on Corkscrew and 41.
Oh, that cave. Oh, is that how you say it? Okay.
Am I even pronouncing it correctly?
I'm here different.
That's a cool place. They got the world
right
in the middle of.
Yeah. So I guess the plan for right now is that it's going to be held on December 6th.
December 6th is the date.
There was concern about, the idea is to do two events, one at Coruscant and one on campus. And there was concern about, the two events weakening or diluting the whole and really making for a bad situation. But I think if both events are spaced far enough apart, there's no reason that I think everybody wants to participate in both if they can, if they're able to, and I think both can be successful events.
I agree also. There's no reason why we can't have a fall fair and spring fair.
And we can all work together and get everyone involved because there are so many different groups that want to be part of that.
Yeah.
So it'll be a successful event.
When will the one on campus be? Do we have a date for that yet or no?
We're still looking at the date, and I was hoping there's more people today here so we can talk about it.
I would recommend just really focusing on the one on December. Just say we're going to have it on that date and don't say anything else because people will tend to put it off and say, well, okay, we'll do something for the spring one, and you won't get much of anything done.
Well, one thing that I do want to say is that since they were saying that they're going to charge us $1,100 to have it here on campus, I would like to speak with the administration to see if maybe they can just not charge us anything since it's not, we're not selling anything, we're not, this is, the purpose of having this is
Did they insist that you have a 501c3 before they would let you do that?
No. I told them that we were working with EPEC, a nonprofit organization, and I emphasized that a lot of the organizations that we network with are nonprofit.
Can you affiliate as an arm of that organization?
So they would still charge, even
They would
for a
still
nonprofit.
charge.
Yeah.
And usually, if there's this is the student's campus, if it's a student-led event and activity, what we've heard from other people who've done things like this on campus is that they usually don't charge a fee, but that we've been hearing things differently. I think given enough time, if we have support from student government or other administration here on campus, then we could probably figure something out.
Yeah.
Get it done. Get something done here for free.
But I'm thinking sometime after February, that'll be enough time for us to work on the fall fair and then the spring fair after that.
Okay.
So if you don't meet until December, how are you going to be able to help out in Immokalee in the meantime?
Well, it's not a matter of not meeting until December. The Bees Festival.
Okay.
The first one is
about two
scheduled
different
for
things.
December.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There's a festival. Now that's an organization I don't.
Well, it's a
It's an event.
festival.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an event that all
It's an event.
of these different organizations, the alliance that we host, that we're trying to set up for December. We'll all still be doing, we're doing the regular business that we do, and with each little event, we'll still be continuing the work. This is just part of this is just one big event that we're all trying to collaborate together on.
Okay, that's good.
Yep.
I may be the only dummy here.
No. Keep asking questions. This is good.
Are there any other updates that we wanted to share with the group about the Peace Fair?
Other than Dana, who's sick and can't be here, Angela and Dana and I met at Correction with Mike R. Hare, whatever his name is, who's the events specialist there, and we still need the final approval of the manager, but Mike assured us that it's basically a done deal. Don't worry, I don't think there'll be any problems. And Dana's going to call them tomorrow to see if we can get that final approval. Tomorrow night we have an EPIC, our monthly EPIC meeting. Since the last potluck, we haven't met yet. The next meeting is tomorrow evening. So it would be better if we did know for sure that it's 100%. Right now it's 95%, but you never know what can happen, right?
Yeah.
And Dana has asked for the possibility that students from FGCU could camp over at the park the night before and even that evening of the Peace Festival for free. Since they'd be helping out with whatever needs doing, and then she needs more information on if the campus could provide those biofuel diesel buses, where students could be transported to Correction for free.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Erica would have more information about that. Last time I spoke with her, she said that they're hoping to have the buses running by mid-November. That'd be pretty close.
Those are the biodiesel ones we're working on?
Yeah.
Yeah, the new ones.
Cool.
Let me give you. I coordinated the Peace Fair we held last year, so I know what I did. So I've just written this down. These are tasks. There may be others, but one, you need a Peace Festival coordinator. Two, an organization invitation coordinator. If you want to bring in a lot of groups, it's a lot, even by email and phone. It takes a lot of time pinning people down and getting there. Yes, we're coming. I was like tearing my hair out, and 2 days before the event, oh yeah, we're gonna come, and it's like I asked 3 months ago. Okay, so that happens. I don't know about the possibility of vendors, like commercial businesses coming on campus and selling arts and crafts or food or whatever.
On campus or?
Yeah,
At the festival.
well, Correction is fine, but I mean for the campus, I don't know if that's a possibility or not. Something to look into. Entertainment coordinator, speakers and seminar coordinator, publicity, volunteer coordinator, stage manager, program MC, a kids area if there's going to be a kids area coordinator, and then basic questions that you really have to ask before we would do anything, before we start. What is the purpose? What is the goal of the event? What do we want to accomplish? What is the theme or focus of the event? What will there be for people to do there? Who is the audience? Who are you trying to appeal to get them to come, and how do we reach them? So these are questions that we're going to go over tomorrow night at EPEC, and hopefully do some good brainstorming on the whole thing. Dana, and I'll let you have a copy of that. Dana and I talked about the possibility of doing a project for the Peace Fair at Correction where our aim would be to do good, to be of assistance, to make a difference. And she came up with an idea, I came up with one, and we're open to other ideas. She's interested in helping out Captain John from, what's his last name, Puig or whatever, Puig, who is in the Freedom Waters Foundation, and they support an orchard right next to an orphanage in the Bahamas. And their goal has been to get the home to be sustainable. And now what they found out is the water supply wasn't sufficient for the home. So Freedom Waters is spending tens of thousands of dollars and they were rebuilding the water structure, cisterns and pumps and whatever they need. So Dana's idea was maybe we can help them out somehow by donating goods. She wasn't thinking so much of the monetary aspect, but maybe by donating goods. Every time Freedom Waters goes over, they take stuff with them for the home. And her idea was maybe we could, donate stuff at the Peace Festival, ask people to bring stuff. One idea I had, and this came about from checking websites last year before we had the first Peace Fair, I found Ryan's Well Foundation. Ryan was 10 years ago, he was a 6-year-old kid who learned in first grade that people are dying in the world because they don't have access to safe, clean water, drinking water. And he was appalled by it, this little 6-year-old. And he did chores for 4 months and he raised $70. And he went to this organization that works on the issue. And they said, well, thank you very much. Now that $70 won't buy, installing a full well, it will pay for the pump. And he said, well, how much for the full well? And they said, like $2,000. So the next several months, he kept doing chores, and then somehow it went public, and there were newspaper articles in a small town up in Canada, and he raised the $2,000. The first well was dug the next year, and he continued. And in 2001, he and his family founded Ryan's Well Foundation, and now they've been financed the digging of over 400 wells, which has affected the lives of more than 500,000 people. And they're in 15 countries, primarily in Africa. They've got projects going in Haiti as well. And just last year, the actor Matt Damon, he has a foundation called H2O Africa. Well, H2O Africa has pledged to match whatever Ryan's Well raises. That H2O Africa will match, not in entirety, but for specific projects in Africa. And I think their goal was like $700,000. And I emailed an individual up at Ryan's Well Foundation, and they said the project will probably be concluded this year, but they have every expectation that there'll be additional matching monies for 09 for future projects. So I'm looking at that's a possibility in terms of raising funds. And I know it's just an awesome responsibility and effort just to get the Peace Festival going itself. And this is another project which could, without limitations, it could be enormous. It could be huge if people agree this is what we should do. And it was really developed well. I could see involvement with the schools and churches and businesses, and making it one of the purposes of the Peace Fair, a focal point. This little 6-year-old kid, look what he did, look what he started, he made a difference. And maybe we can inspire other individuals. You don't have to do what Ryan did. Maybe you could do more. Maybe you could do something else. Maybe it's just giving $1 for some, to some cause. And what Ryan's Well does is they educate. Their mission is 3 points. 1, raising funds for water and sanitation projects. 2, educating about water and sanitation issues. 3, motivating future leaders, empowering all, but especially youth, either alone, in classes, or other community groups, to claim their place in the world as builders of a better future. So it's really, if we were to take on a project like that for the Peace Festival, in addition to raising money, and my proposal would be to raise enough money to build one well in its entirety. They cost different amounts depending on the terrain, the country, and a variety of factors. but on average now they're around $5,000 to build the well, and the sanitation education, as part of the program. So that's what I'm interested in. I just think it's something that, besides the aspect of being of service and really providing a good service and assisting this, really reputable, incredible organization, I think what it can do for the Peace Festival itself is attract more publicity, hopefully more attendance. And when I emailed Ryan's Well, I said, and they understand, they realize we may not go with them, and they said, that's fine, whatever you decide, we'd love to have you helping, and if not, we wish you well, whatever you do. I said, what's the criteria on Ryan visiting? Because he's going into his senior year of high school.
Wow.
He's been all around the world. I mean, meeting celebrities, officials, been blessed by the Pope, and he's having such an impact. He's been on Oprah twice and all that. Yeah, and you have to be on Oprah or you have nobody, right? But I said, what would be the feasibility? What's the criteria? And they said, well, he's entering his senior year, and he's really, we're really curtailing his travels, so he won't be traveling much, and he wouldn't be able to attend the Peace Festival in December. I don't take that as a no. That's a general no. They tell their group. I think if the Peace Festival, all the organizations were to write Ryan's Well, 20, 30 groups or whatever, 40 groups, maybe they'd see the enthusiasm generated and see the seriousness of it. Maybe something could be done. Possibility, but even if he can't make an appearance, I still think it's definitely a worthwhile project to engage in and to support.
Yeah, last year it was it Maddie or?
Yeah, well, there was no real project, but it was dedicated to Maddie Stepanek, the young boy who was a poet and a peacemaker. He died at 14, but he had 5 best-selling books of poetry. And
Was he on Oprah too?
he was on Oprah.
Okay.
Larry King everywhere. He was, in a wheelchair and hooked up to so many devices and machines. And we dedicated the fair to him last year, and we invited his mother to come, but she has the adult onset of the disease that killed him, and 3 younger brothers and sisters. She did not know until Maddie was born. They did not diagnose the disease. It was that rare. It is a form of muscular dystrophy, but it's in the single digits, like in this country, I guess. And she travels a little bit, but her health really wasn't up to it. But she did write an article for us in the news press on the day of the Peace Fair, a column about it. I'm getting a call. Let me get that. Hello.
The Rotary International
Yeah.
has 2 things that they really work hard on for internationally. One is polio vaccination, because that's coming back, and the other is provide wells and water, like he's talking about, which is a very necessary thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little bit familiar with what he's talking about.
Yeah, it won't be for for a little while yet, but that's
Do
an
they
excellent
wanna
idea.
focus on one organization?
He's suggesting one.
Yeah.
Right. That was Angela. Right. Okay.
Do you think he knows about that?
Yes. I will suggest
Very
that.
good.
I think that's a good idea.
The organization he mentioned, there are actually some students that are holding a benefit concert in Naples.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Next
Rhonda.
week
Appreciate
to raise
that.
money for that.
Yeah, well,
For what?
definitely
For the
get
or
back to you.
for have clean
Free
water
water.
for the orphanage in the Bahamas.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And Rhonda thinks that maybe you should call 911. She says the individual that tried to get in and explain his medical condition, the fact that his wife recently left him, and that he's very depressed.
I don't know his address though.
Oh, geez.
That was
I might have it.
She probably does. I can get her back. Yeah, I know it's one of those where you
I
go
know,
there,
yeah.
but yeah. Yeah.
Actually, no, I didn't get wait. No, I didn't get to that.
Okay.
Could it be in the website?
It might be.
But can we get on?
Or you don't have to go
people
somewhere
can
else?
get on the internet.
Well, I don't know if I made myself clear the reason I came here is one is to see Jeff again and to hear him, whatever he had to bring, and find out what I could do possibly to focus on issues that would be most important along the lines to help you, because I'm not satisfied with Bert Saunders and Connie Mack. Yesterday at a meeting in Lehigh, Bert Saunders jumped Connie Mack for being in California, which he didn't show up in his own district, you know, to come over to a large community as Lehigh. So,
Turns out he was actually in Cape Coral at a Republican
Really?
fundraiser.
Yeah, they didn't say fundraiser, but I get the feeling it was a fundraiser.
Okay.
So, well, while Tom's on the phone, I'll kind of jump ship here for a second. We had something really interesting that's come out of this Saunders Mac dust-up this weekend. Bert Saunders actually let us know ahead of time that he was challenging Connie Mack to the debate. And when Connie Mack issued a refusal, we sent out a press release. And so Fox News did a piece on Bert Saunders yesterday. And it's online. I'm actually going to post it on my website. I'm going to post a link. But essentially, Bert Saunders' position is that he hasn't given up on the Republican Party. He's a lifelong Republican. He is going to caucus with the Republicans. He's a Republican through and through. He's doing this for strategy because there will only be an 18% turnout at the primaries and an 80-85% turnout in the general election. So, and it was beautiful. I spoke with the Fox News reporter, and they used the best possible clip. You know, what I said that it really says something about the situation when you see a lifelong Republican abandoning the party to become an independent. So basically, my one quote just refuted like the other minute and a half of the story. Also, because of Mac's refusal to debate, Wink covered it yesterday, and I spoke with Wink, and we got a couple of good sound bites off of that too. But the important thing, and also there's been an article in the Breeze about this, Cape Coral Breeze, and in the News Press. And the News Press article wasn't so great for me, but otherwise everything was really good. And the important thing that's happening here is we're positioning ourselves that we are the alternative candidate. You've got these two Republicans slugging it out, and then you've got my campaign. And and this is one of the things that we have to focus on for our campaign.
Well, I emailed the list that the list of speakers was sent out to. That was everybody in Lehigh that is on the chamber and in the community council and all the politicos in Lehigh, and included some people that we've dealt with outside the community that might have an interest in it. And so I went back to that list again afterwards, and I copied everybody, reply all. And I said it was a great thing that the community council provided, and I congratulated Damon Sheeler for doing the hard work to make it happen, the leadership of Damon Sheeler. And then I mentioned that Connie Mack was not there.
I got the message this morning.
Did you?
So yeah.
I give him the the Bronx cheer. But I did say he was in California, but I didn't care if that was right or wrong. But he was over in Cape Coral, and Cape Coral was over here.
Yeah.
And we don't appreciate Cape Coral very much in Lehigh.
Well, I actually live in Cape Coral, but
yeah, I know, but they've always outweighed us for local county money and things like that, and attention, and then they got incorporated, and they're throwing their weight around that way, and we can't do that.
Well, when they hopefully everything's okay with ONES, but when they come back, we'll talk about it. The one thing that I think I can really contribute to the Peace Fair, by December, I will either be the representative-elect for this district, and I will definitely be there and be able to speak, or I'll be just an ordinary citizen, in which case we won't have to worry about any sort of conflict, election conflict, if I get more involved in helping you plan it and everything. But the one thing that I can really contribute is I'm working with a really good national publicist. And one of the things that we're doing for our campaign that we can also do for the Peace Fair is get me a list of celebrities. And I don't mean like top tier celebrities. I mean, good celebrities that are within our range. I should be able to really help get some people to come down to this. Probably, if there are people who are politically sympathetic, probably what you'll have to pony up is their air expense. But there shouldn't be anything hopefully beyond that. So I think that's the best thing I can do to help out with the planning on this right now.
Peace Fair?
Yeah, but like I said, if and when I do win in November, I'll definitely be there, and I'll do whatever I can to help make sure that you have some good attendance.
What is your number one issue if we were to try to help you with letters to the paper and things like that? What would be your number one issue you think will get you more traction than anything?
Well, I think the biggest issue right now is we really need to be focusing on the economy, specifically on oil prices and what's going on in the mortgage market. And you and I will sit down and we'll talk. Let's let them get everything done with the Peace Fair. I don't want to monopolize their meeting. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the biggest issue right now. And the one thing that I would ask everybody to keep in mind is we're drastically underfunded right now for the campaign, and I actually have the agreement with the publicist that he's gonna work with us, and I have the contract and it's sitting on my desk, and I can't actually start working with him until I pay him. So we need money for that. But I'll please continue about the Peace Fair, and we'll talk about that later.
I missed it. Was that like a feasible? What do people think about the orphanage and the Bahamas, as well as the Ryan's Well Foundation, and plenty others? So.
Yeah, I would support it. I don't know how much time I could put into it because I will have class during that time. But I would support it, and I'm going to EPEX meeting tomorrow, so hopefully I'll be able to hear more about it and make myself more familiar with it.
Will EPAC back you? Will they make a decision about what organization they want to benefit?
Yeah, and I don't know that it will be tomorrow night, but then if we waited a month, they might rub your on this side.
Yeah, I mean I'm looking for that.
That would definitely help you if you had one organization that you were focusing on. That would help you in your advertising to get more people out there.
And also, kids trying to work with schools to see if maybe they can bus students to the...
Yeah.
And, use the story of the little boy at schools so that kids will be like, yeah, they can do the same thing.
Maybe inspire, yeah.
1731, 16,
Anything?
No, I like it.
I was telling them earlier, one of the things that the Progressive Alliance trying to do here at school is, right now I'm talking to some of the people with the administration to see how we can make this possible. But it's just really hard for low-income students to eat here. It's way expensive. It's like $8 to eat at the buffet downstairs. And there's Taco Bell and stuff. That's not real healthy. I have friends who were eating tacos for lunch and dinner because they couldn't afford to eat downstairs. So I'm working with the administration to see if there's a way that we can provide food, canned foods, or anything to low-income students.
I'm working with the Islamic Center in Fort Myers, and we are getting involved with the Harry Chapin Food Bank and with some of the other organizations down there, because the problem is my office, which is also where I'm living right now because of what we're doing with the video, that's in just off of downtown Fort Myers, and I'm right next door to the Islamic Center for Peace, and we share the same parking lot. And every time I go out to that parking lot, I have at least once or twice a week, I have homeless people coming up and asking if we can help them out with food. So what we want to do is there's one organization that's giving food away, I think on Fridays. We want to set up another day, like maybe maybe Wednesday, and give some food away. So we're trying to get involved with all the organizations, the Islamic Center is to get involved with all the organizations that are giving food away out there. So yeah, maybe we can coordinate on that.
we have a shortage of food in Lehigh. People coming in that live out there in houses, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the people downtown are worse off as far as their living conditions. But we haven't been able to provide enough food to keep up with the demand.
This is a real problem everywhere right now.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of people, working people, that are going and applying for not just food stamps, but going to food banks and everything is skyrocketing right now because food prices are going up so high. Yeah, and this is, of course, this is directly because of the oil prices. Not only the oil prices, but also the fact that they're putting so much crop acreage aside for biofuel now. I mean, everything in this country, everything that you eat is related to corn somehow in this country. Every chicken, every piece of chicken, every piece of beef, every piece of pork you eat is corn fed. Pretty much any consumer product you get is sweetened with corn syrup. Any baked good has cornstarch in it. And now they're taking the corn and using that for biofuel, and so that's one of the many things that's driving up prices. But I mean, I think the biggest issue with the oil prices is we've got to go after the speculators better. Speculation more than anything is especially this recent spike we've seen in the last year. This is basically the same scam that Enron was running on California. They're cutting refinery production. They're doing everything they can to scare people into drilling for more oil or getting everybody convinced that we have a shortage. In 2000, around 30% of all the oil trades were speculative, and 70% were actually transactions where oil was changing hand. This year that's flip-flopped. 70% of the oil transactions now are speculative, meaning that no oil is actually changing hands, and only 30% of it is actual trade. And there's a number of things that actually the administration could do with the stroke of the pen, but it can come from Congress as well. There's a number of things we can do to close some of the loopholes and shut down some of the black holes where they're trading it.
Speculation taking place on the stock exchanges?
The majority of the speculation is actually coming out of two markets. It's coming out of the London market and it's coming out of the Dubai market. And those two markets right now are not covered by the Commodities Trade Commission. So, and again, those markets could be put under that commission by the stroke of a pen from the president. So, and of course the other issue is
they're housed in foreign countries?
Well, everything is oil is still traded in dollars. So, I mean, we still have that influence over the market. Everything basically is still effectively coming through the U.S. because oil is still traded in dollars. So, that's something that can be taken care of fairly easily. There's also, of course, the issue with the falling dollar, which is something we need to have a real strong dollar policy. It's something that this president and I think the Republican Party in general is opposed to, is strengthening the dollar. But this is economically, the dollar's our Achilles heel. If we don't strengthen the dollar, what we're going to see is flight. We're seeing it now. I mean, across the world, the dollar used to be everyone's safe currency. Now you go to Rio and you go to places like that, and they won't take dollars anymore. They want either euros or reals in Brazil. Yeah. So this is a big problem, and when we lose the strength of the dollar, we lose an important part of our economic standing around the world.
Yeah, and they won't take the call, but they gave her a non-emergency number, maybe just to call. So she can answer some questions. Yeah, it's okay.
Did you know about this? That's the same organization you were talking about, the information.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know about this.
The group of students is actually, Erica actually set that up. They're doing a benefit concert in Naples next Friday.
Okay.
The same night was also the photo exhibit for an FGCU teacher who was injured in a car crash.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Ingrid Martinez Rico. It's going to be held at the Arts for Act Gallery.
I don't know if you heard, she organized like the Spanish club to go to Dominican Republic.
For alternative spring break to help out.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, I don't even know if Dana knows about this. I can have this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Great.
Sure,
Does Jeff have your handle?
Yeah.
In fact, I gave Dana an application, or excuse me, I gave Chuck an application. Cindy should have it tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to make it to the meeting tomorrow or not,
Okay.
because our quarterly report is due Tuesday. I
Oh,
will make
yeah,
sure
right.
that's
I
taken
know.
care of.
Yeah.
So if I can't make it to the meeting, Cindy has my application and my check for the
Oh, right.
fee. So,
Okay, thanks.
so I'm a member now.
All right. All right. Trying to think if there's anything else. I think if anybody has ideas or, suggestions on speakers, entertainment. Me personally, being a political junkie and a big Dennis Kucinich fan, I would love to see Kucinich and Ron Paul come to the Peace Festival because
Have a
what we,
debate.
well, I mean, on foreign policy, there's not too much that they have to debate about. The fact that we're going to have a new administration, hopefully, next year, this is the chance to listen to people, give their opinions on how should the U.S. make its way in the world. We know what we shouldn't have done, and how can we move towards peace? How can we move the peace agenda? Yell if you're hungry, if you want anything.
Oh, I was thinking a lot about like the different activities we can do, like seminars and like organizations that we can invite. And I know, like at least on the artist side of it, there's a lot of galleries that they do have that peace mentality in their work and stuff like that on their websites, and that would be like perfect people to invite to come out and either show some of the art that they make and also demonstrate like like paintings and this, they do seminars and stuff like that. So that would be good. And I can get a list of those because I work with the paper, the news president. They usually get a lot of that information in it.
Yeah, one thing that you might want to keep in mind if you're considering getting celebrities to come here is try and find somebody who's number one on the same page in terms of peace, but also someone who's got a broad appeal for people in the area. Like you mentioned, like Ron Paul.
Yeah.
Obviously, that would be a real get. I mean, you would have a huge number of people that otherwise probably wouldn't turn out and come for an event like this. I'm starting to work a little more closely now with some of the Ron Paul groups in Lee and Collier, and yeah, that would be fantastic. So if you could get that. Of course, see, it's the month after the election, so but we have the advantage of being this is an event in South Florida in December. So anybody you want from the Northeast or
Good time.
any cold climate, this is a good opportunity to get them to come down for a day.
Down for a little bit of spring.
Yeah.